Hello, everybody. Is this thing on? Welcome, everyone. Welcome in for one of our live stream videos. I say my live stream. It's been a while. It's been over. I was looking at the calendar. It's been like a year. So, wanted to get back doing these. So, welcome everybody. I'd like to welcome everybody in the chat. Thank you for showing up. This is a little bit of an experiment here because I'm simulcasting right now on Facebook and YouTube at the same time. Just wanted to have an opportunity to have both audiences together. So we'll see how this goes. Should see everybody in chat, but that's a big question mark, whether that's going to show up on there. But we'll see. I'm not so sure about the YouTube part of it, whether it's going to come through or not. But we will press on and figure stuff out as we go. I was telling my wife earlier, it's a little easier when you have two people versus one. One person can talk while the other one does the technical stuff. So now it's just me. So that's the way. Welcome everyone. And this is, if this is your first time, this is Dungeon Class. This is where our channel is dedicated to maximizing the fun in your game. And we're a family-friendly channel, and a lot of stuff for the kids, teaching kids how to play, as well as teaching new players and all those things. But our emphasis is on fun. We're not so much about min-maxing and things like that. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. Thank you for turning out here. We'll see how many people we get in here tonight, but the idea is to do a few of these and we start building a community and talking to the community. One of our favorite things to do, I say my partner and I started this channel a little over 4 years ago, and we really enjoy talking to people, talking to players, talking to people that are viewers, and this is the jam right here. This is honestly, if we could just do this all the time, it'd be great. We would love just talking to people, and we love doing it. But that's one thing that it's really super enjoyable talking to people. So my cohort really loved the live stuff, live stream. For those who don't know, he passed away. It's going on a little over a year ago. Hi, Skillthorn. I see you. Welcome, Mr. Welch. Thank you for joining us. But anyway, he passed away. But he loved doing these live streams, and one of the reasons was his idol, Ethan Van Sciver. He loved comic books, and Ethan Van Sciver, that's pretty much like he did. But Gonzo never really understood the idea that you can't just go live. You got to advertise a little bit. And he's like, well, yeah, Ethan does it. And I'm like, well, Ethan's got like thousands of fans and he can just do that. So a little different jam here. We have to advertise, let everybody know we're going to be there and all. But we love the spontaneity. I'm a kid growing up on Saturday Night Live, so I love the live stuff. So live is where it's at. So if we could do this all the time, this would be good stuff. Today, I thought we would create a monster together. But before we get into that, I just wanted to touch on a couple news items. One, I really wanted to briefly talk about because I did a video recently about who was killing D&D, and called out Cynthia Williams, and then like a week later, she was let go. Well, actually, she resigned, which I'm sure that's the story. That's the save face kind of aspect. But I'm sure I didn't have my little video didn't have anything to do with that per se, but I just thought it was kind of interesting that they came together that way. Never want to see anybody lose their job, but she did have a $21 million bonus that she walked away with, so that eases the pain a little bit, I guess. So, but I just think that's interesting story for. I'm a positive guy, so hey, Overwork, good seeing you. The positive aspect is that now we have maybe some fresh eyes. Maybe this, maybe D&D will go in a different direction. So we'll see how that goes. And the other thing I wanted to kind of touch on a little bit, really a couple brief items. One, I'm really, really excited to be part of a project that I really can't talk about so much yet. But I can tell you that it's in honor of the 50th anniversary of D&D. And I can also tell you that there are 50 YouTube channels involved, and it's kind of cool. It's something that's, to my knowledge, has never been done in the history of this YouTube D&D channel space. So there'll be some familiar faces in this project, but it's pretty exciting. I'm excited about it. I'm excited to be involved with that. So can't really tell you too much yet, and I don't really know how long it's gonna, when it'll come to fruition. But that's a thing. Yeah. So that is good stuff. And yeah, I like this. I like this quote here. Yeah, the third party content. Yeah, that is to me, that's the bonus part of the missteps that D&D has made of recently, and the things that kind of led to Cynthia Williams leaving, is all the third party content that's coming out. Whether it be stuff to use in the game of D&D, or new games in general. There's all new games. I love. I'm with you. These Kickstarters are crazy. Some of mine have been rolling in here and there, and sometimes you're like, oh yeah, I guess I did fund that. I haven't really funded that many Kickstarter stuff. I jump in here and there. One I did recently, I should review that. It's AJ's. His rolling, he roll out the grids that he sold, those mats. Those are really awesome. So that's good stuff. But also Shadow Dark. So I like that one. That was a really great one. But so yeah, I'm with Overboard, absolutely. And hopefully, yeah, they start rolling in. You put all that money up front, and then you kind of sit and wait. And but I like it kind of. It's like buying a bunch of presents and hiding them, and then you find them later because they kind of start rolling in later. So, but yeah, great point, Overboard. So yeah, and I should mention down at the bottom there, again, Facebook users, I'm not sure how this is going to work. In theory, you're supposed to pop up in chat on the side here, and we see you. And but also there's a little wrinkle there, and I put a note down at the bottom that if you, down in the description, there's a link that you click, and it will. You have to tell it it's okay to use your avatar and your name and a third party set up like this. So that's what that's about. So what I'm thinking is, if this doesn't work out, then I'll just have to maybe going forward do videos, and just separate videos on going forward. But we'll see. But I just like more is merrier. And we're going to need some help in creating these monsters. I have a couple ideas we might start off with, but I'm going to need some help in fleshing out our monster. So, but one last news item that I do want to talk about is another secret, kind of sort of secret project that's coming soon. Daggerheart, if you've seen the Darrington Press / Critical Role / whoever's, the people behind Daggerheart. I've been working a bit with understanding it and learning it, and I've got some YouTubers agreed to maybe sort of play it. So that's in the works. I don't know how soon that's going to happen, because we've got some busy people involved. But anyway, I just want to tease that out there a little bit. If you've been, I did want to create some Daggerheart material and talk more about it, and wanted to be up on it and kind of know about it firsthand. So I've been studying it. But I will say the short version, what I can say about Daggerheart in general, I just wanted to figure out, I would save this for a live stream kind of thing, was what I like about it is that it's very thought out. It's very, they put a lot of thought in things like balancing the power between the power that the dungeon master has and what the player has. I think they made some interesting decisions there. They've made some, hey Fred, good seeing you. They've made some interesting decisions when it comes to combat, simplifying combat a little bit, which I thought was interesting. I really like that. So there's some things I don't like about Daggerheart as such right now, as I'm going through. I will say this, that I kind of feel like the success of this game, I don't know. I think they're going in a different direction. I think the direction, yeah, I agree. Yeah, good point. Yeah, I was curious too, but as you read through it, I think it's a little, Gonzo and I used to use the word crunchy. It's a little crunch. It's people who like Pathfinder, people who like 3.5 are going to find some things they might like in there. I think there's a lot of different things to learn. So I think they're going in a different direction, which I kind of wonder if that's going to be serious, like it's going to work or not. Because if you look at the success of a lot of games, they've gone rules light. So they're going further, they're going with less rules. And here's Daggerheart coming with a lot of stuff you got to learn. So the question is if the crowd has been used to less rules, that's 5th edition, and they've been used to, Shadow Dark and some of the and Morkborg and Pirate Borg, all these board games that are really low rules light. Are they really going to want to learn a game like Daggerheart that really takes a little bit of investment of time and all? So that's just my quick assessment of Daggerheart so far. I know it's still in beta right now, and they're working through some things, but I applaud their effort. I applaud the work they put into it. This is not something they just whipped up overnight. There's been a lot of playtesting and conversation for sure. So that's impressive, but this could be me saying right here now, I don't think it's going to be that successful in the long run. Like, you're going to see people piling on and playing it all the time. And you can remember this time where I could have been absolutely dead wrong. And here it is right here. But I just don't know that that's be successful. But we'll see. We'll see. Who knows? Sometimes things work out. Got a lot of people backing it, and Critical Bowl, having Matt Mercer behind it that's pretty strong. But I just don't know if that's enough. But we'll see. I could be wrong. But it's an interesting game. And I think it's a good game. I just don't know if it's going to be that successful. So, yeah, absolutely. D100. Yeah, that's Rules Light. Rules Light seems to, honestly, if you look at a lot of the Kickstarters and the success of these, it's Rules Light is the way people are. They're having success with Rules Light. So I just think it's an interesting turn to just all of a sudden just go, hey, we're just going to come up with a whole bunch of rules, and you've got to learn almost a whole new game that's very much different than Dungeons and Dragons, anything you played. So yeah, I'm not sure about that, but we'll see. We'll see. All right. So, but enough talking. What I know what you came here for, and I thought we would get into it a little bit. So what I was thinking, first of all, my premise and my pea little brain was that the wizards are at it again. We know in a lot of the monsters, the backstory of a lot of the monsters that are in the monster manual. A lot of people say things, like you look at the gelatinous cube, and for example, and like, oh, how was that created? Oh, it was some, mage came up with, they experimented and made something that would clean the dungeons or something, or whatever, for different origin stories there. But a lot of people refer to the old, it's kind of maybe sort of a cliche, maybe that wizards are tinkering with creatures and maybe tinkering with creatures they shouldn't, or experimenting on monsters or whatever, and then this thing happens. So my thought was, what if they're at it again and they are, they've got some bigger ideas, and the idea is that what if they start mixing monsters? And that I think is kind of sort of been done before. When you look at Manicore and you look at Chimera, obviously it's a mix of something. But what would happen if you put these together? What would be the result of two monsters? And so I thought it'd be kind of fun to get in, have people here in the chat help me a little bit with that. I thought for the first one, so we can kind of see how this goes, we could start with an idea I have, and then we'll just flesh it out. So because I've thumbed through the monster manual, and some creatures don't mesh maybe, and kind of like, oh, why would I put those two together? It's like I was looking at, for example, Chimera and Manicore. What would that would be like? I don't know. I don't know quite the assortment really. Hey, Alt Keyboard, good seeing you. Yeah, Fred, very advanced Dungeons and Dragons for sure. The Daggerheart. So as I'm looking through, I thought a couple that might be interesting would be an owlbear and a harpy. Now, I think they can really. I wanted something that kind of maybe mesh together, and we can go wilder if we do more of these together. But maybe start with something that's kind of. They do have some complements to each other, maybe. So I have a little document here that bring in. So I was trying to figure out what to call an owlbear and a harpy put together. Like, what would you even call that? Harpy, harpy and owlbear, and castleberry. Okay, that's it. All right, I'm hearing you out, Mr. Welch. So so when I researched a little bit about harpies, another name for harpies are furies. So yeah, Fred, I was the and Fred, I don't know if you, I don't remember our. So we did a video a while back, live stream, where we were looking at harpies in general and how to make them different in your game. And we had some pretty interesting ideas. I distinctly remember Wally DM's his, and I distinctly remember Josiah Dungeon Dads. They were at some. If you haven't seen that video, that's on the channel here. Fun with Harpies. But yeah, a flying owlbear. So owlbears, they're kind of big to fly. So there's obviously some things that you could mesh together. So another name for, as I was saying, another name for a harpy is a fury. So best I could come up with a name anyways, a working title, call it that. Fury owlbear. So if we have an owlbear put together, so what I thought we might do is kind of run through some of the stat block really quickly in the armor class and hit points, and just run through some of those quickly. And I think where it's going to really start to take some time to kind of work through is what would be realistic, maybe putting together some of their the abilities. Like, do we want it to, how powerful do you want this to be? Obviously, I'm thinking that this is an advanced monster to use. This was not a CR one. Oh, a fur bear. There we go. Yeah. A fur bear. Oh, I like that. That's actually nice and short. I like it. Good job. I mean, I'll have to change that. Fur bear. So actually, I think I can do that here. Yeah. So let's see, fur bear. I think I can do that right here. Yeah. Okay. So, if you will turn in your player's handbook or your monster manual, I have it up on my other computer here, and I couldn't really bring it in like I wanted to, the different stat blocks. But as in harpies, we know what harpies are. I'll just kind of run through real fast what harpies. In general, harpies, they're way back in history. These they have that siren song that charms people. We know that. They lure sailors to their death and all that kind of stuff. And we know that they are a combination of like a vulture thing, and they're a combination of a human. So that's the harpies. And what I'll do is I'll just we'll go back and forth on the stat blocks when we get there. They are, as it says, chaotic evil. Well, that makes sense. So that would probably, I would think, what do you think, chat? You think that would color, if let's see, you put these two together, do we feel like they're going to go evil if they lure people to their death? Does that sound like that's going to probably, so the end result of these two creatures when they're crossbred, I don't know how you guys feel about alignment. I like to kind of have it maybe, but it doesn't mean I will definitely keep to it. So I think keeping with, it's definitely going to, I guess it's still a medium monstrosity. What do you think, chat? Do you think that's still a medium monstrosity if we have a harpy and an owlbear? Because the owlbears are, oh no, they're large. Okay, so we have large and medium together. So probably, what do you think? Large monstrosity, I guess, would make sense. I guess it depends on what genes they get, but I think I would like to probably lean toward a beefy, scary owlbear versus a large bumblebee. There you go. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's about right. All right. So let's go with large monstrosity. And do we feel good about chaotic evil for now? I guess it's got those evil genes maybe that carried over. I don't know. Anybody, unless somebody has a compelling argument, I'll listen. I'm welcome to for any input on the whys and whys not. Is fine on that. I'm okay either way. If no one objects, then we can carry on, I suppose. Next, armor class. So armor class, I'm thinking it's probably going to take the armor class to the owlbear. What do you think? So owlbear's armor class is 13. Do we feel like the dexterity of the harpy makes it any more of a higher armor class, or any thoughts on that? I don't know that it necessarily does. 13 maybe. 13 is pretty good. I don't know. I kind of feel like this is going to be a hard enough monster when we're done that we may not want to get into up in the armor class. So I think I'm pretty good about keeping that. I think hit points, probably keep it simple. You know, both did. Owlbear has roughly around 59 hit points and 38 for the harpy. Does it sting? That's a good question. Give it a sonic screech attack instead of a. Oh, hold that thought, Scalethorn. That's a good one. I like that. Good stuff. Yeah. Ooh, can an owlbear have a breastplate? Well, that's a. See, these are good. These are really good. Yeah. So a screech attack. I like that idea. That kind of blends the two things. So it's not just a matter of one taking on the other, and that's great. That's what I wanted, something like that. I wanted some combining. That's awesome. And yeah, Overboard's got a interesting point. You can have a breastplate. I mean, being that it has that human element, it could upgrade the arm class. So I'm gonna go with that. So oh my gosh, you got an owlbear that can fly and can wear armor. In fact, I'm going to put that. It has a breastplate to cover its torso, which makes some sense. So, you know, he's been around a little bit. I like it. I like it a lot. So that ups the. All right. So hit points and speed. Okay, so this thing's going to be probably a little more speedy now that it can fly. Both said, although it's 20 feet flying, I'll say 20 feet speed, and then flying is 40 feet for the harpy. So it's already at 40 feet flying, whereas an owlbear just can run really fast, I guess, at 40 feet. So I guess I'm inclined to, just because it's still kind of biggish, I'm inclined to maybe what, 40 foot running and 40 foot. Oh, does it fly faster though? Because now it's beefy. Ooh, poor flight move, bumblebee. Poor flight. Oh, that's true. You mean, yeah? So it's really, maybe it doesn't fly so fast. Is that what you're saying, Fred? Because bumblebees are not super fast and they're big, and maybe because of the weight of it, it doesn't necessarily fly so well. So speed 40 feet. Yeah, that's a good point. I like that. So maybe it doesn't go any faster. Give it sonic flight like an owl. Yes. These are good. These are good ones. I like this. Yeah. No, that's good stuff. Very good. Comment's not going down for me there. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. So hold on to that thought, Mr. Welch. I like that. When we get to the Silent flight like an owl. That's funny because we kind of touched on maybe that was a video I did where we talked about how to make them more powerful. I think the idea of them being coming in silently like an owl was like horrifying. You know, you're an owl bear coming in, that something that big and vicious coming in silently. That'd be awesome. A penalty to try to hear it while it's flying. Yeah, that's great. All right, so he doesn't have fingers to put it on, so there has to be a human that's been. Oh, that's true. That's true. So he's going to have a companion. I'll just put a little note right now that needs help putting on armor. Putting on and taking off armor. Okay, that's good. That's good stuff. Okay. And like what Fred was saying, so I don't know that. So the idea being it's speed. I think it's still going to walk fast probably because it's still beefy that way. So the speed's going to be 40 feet like it was as an owl bear. But the flight is only maybe 20 feet because it's so big. But it can climb up and glide down like an owl. So it has that quiet jump on someone. That's good. Yeah, Mr. Welch, that's good. No, absolutely. No, this is good stuff. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. So yeah, we're gonna keep that owl quiet part. I'm just gonna jot down a quick note. So silent like an owl, just to remember push that down a little bit, but that'll be in there. That's good. And I like that about the sonic screech. I'm gonna just write that as a note instead of the luring song, which we'll get into. That's good stuff. Okay. And the penalty. So maybe the penalty is like a fly 20 to 30 silent. Yeah. Okay, that's good. All right, 30. That's a good halfway point. And then but it's silent. So he's automatic stealthy. So maybe like DC to hear it. I don't know what we would have for that perception. Penalty to hear it. How would I make that on there as a need to have a climb speed? Oh, that's true. Yeah. Okay. Probably if it's going to climb up trees and I don't know. What do you think? It's 20 feet too fast climbing speed. In one turn, it can climb up 20 feet. Can't hear it. Okay, so can't hear it at all. So when it's coming down, it's just silent. Maybe you can see it, but you can't hear it. So silent when flying. Okay, yeah. So unless someone's looking up, they don't even notice it unless they're actively looking for it. Okay, that'll work. I'm looking out. And then the climbing speed. I don't know. Is 20 feet too fast for a... I mean, this isn't a monk. 20 feet. I don't know. Let me know, chat, if you think that's too fast. Okay. 20. All right. Fred knows. Fred's the expert on climbing. He climbs all the time. All right. Very good. All right. So silent like an owl. All right. So and we have that. All right. So back to our stats here. All right. So I'm thinking stat block wise. So here we are with strength. And just to let you know, the owlbear has a strength of 20 and a harpy has 12. So I'm thinking that it probably just takes on the strength. It had +5, by the way. Does that sound right? Does that sound like it makes sense to you guys? That what do you think? There you go, reward. Very good. I like it. That's right. Magical. Why wouldn't he? They're a harpy. So it's a magic breastplate. Okay, why not? Or silent while wearing it. Okay. Very cool. Very good. Very good. Strength 20. Yeah, I think that makes sense too. I didn't want to spend a ton of time on the. I want to spend more time on the abilities. Good. All right. So Dex. We're thinking. So the harpies are probably more dexy. So that's harpies are 13, whereas Albert's 12. So I'm thinking maybe it's a blend of the two. So maybe 13 Dex. I'm okay with this being upgraded. I mean, this is it's not. This isn't right out of your. This isn't for low level characters to fight. This is something that it's upgraded a bit. So I've done a few videos on evolved monsters. So this fits out really good. All right. So we're thinking maybe +1 to okay. So what do you think? Everybody okay with Dex +1? That important? Just think it up time. Yeah. I agree, Mr. Welch. When you use the fine hearing perception tag. There you go. Disadvantage. All right, I like that. Yeah, I wanted it to be some kind of a disadvantage. Hearing perception checks. Do I hear anything? Nope. It's nice and quiet. All you hear are crickets. And all right. So Dex is that. All right. So Con, how? So harpies are 12. Owlbears are 17. Yowzer. So do we take the higher one or blend them and divide, or what do you think? Are the genes of a harpy enough to bring down the constitution of the owlbear a little bit? I don't know. What do we think? I'm thinking maybe it's got a little scrawny. I mean, there has to be. Yeah, I feel like there's got to be give and take a little bit. Well, that's true. It's still a bear. You're right. And the bear is really what makes the owl bear part. I mean, obviously it's not the owl. That's pretty fair point. You figure the owl didn't bring down the constitution of a bear very much. So, yeah, to be a very loud, flappy bear. All right. Okay. All right. So you talked me into keeping it. All right. So it's kind of a con of 17. So it's a beefy little boy. Okay. Good stuff. All right. So that's the con, which is +3. Yeah. All right. All right. And what I plan on doing then, at some point, I'll put this down in the description, the results. So you'll have a PDF you can download of at least the stats and all. I may not have fancy pictures and stuff. Although if I get some time, I might see what AI does with a harpy owlbear. All right. So that was the con. Intelligence. So we got 7 for harpy. That's interesting. That's 7 with having some uses a bit of magic, but still 7 intelligence and 3 for owlbear. So it's not the brightest. You're making a screech owlbear. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, it's like a screech owl. Exactly. And maybe that's what we call. Maybe that's what we call it. All right. So intelligence, not the brightest thing. Oh yeah, I didn't put the hit points up here. Good point. Hit points. If we're gonna drop it, just drop it down to 16. Keep the hit point bonus. Doesn't just slightly down. Okay. I'm going to keep the higher hit points. I think it's still pretty beefy. Like I like the point about being an owl. So it's going to take on the same thing as the owlbear, which is 7d10. 7d10 plus 21. I think that's pretty beefy. Wouldn't want to go any higher. So I picture like size-wise, those of you who might have played World of Warcraft, the the Tommy Boy dance that the what was the druid, the owl form, owlbear form, the thing of the druids, they did the Tommy Boy dance. That's what I'm picturing right now. All right, so intelligence. So science creatures, thunder damage. Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. All right, so that is great because thunder damage. You know what I like about that, Fred, is that who has resistance to thunder damage? You know, so that's always great. It causes confusion and fear. All right, so we'll break that down in a moment because now you're talking damage plus being stunned, maybe due to confusion or fear. So 2 different effects off of that one thing. That's great. That's good stuff. Horrifying, but good stuff. All right. So intelligence, I'm just going to go, I think, with 7. That's good. It's got some brains because it's got the human part, though not that much. I mean, I guess, you know, it's kind of the harpy is pretty. Oh, nice overboard. Yeah, that'd be. Oh, I'd love to see an image of that now. Owlbear with like tattered wings and dirty feathers. Yeah, this is a horrifying. The more I think of it, this is pretty bad. Obviously, it was the evil wizards that were playing around with this. They shouldn't be. They're tinkering with things they should not be tinkering with. All right, so -2. Okay, and all right, so now finishing out the stats. Wisdom, not that big of a deal. Wisdom 10 for harpy and 12 for owlbear. Do the frightened blow if you fail a saving throw. Use a screech and give it advantage on attacking frightened creatures. Ah, very nice. Oh my gosh, this is slowly fleshing out. Great. All right. So if fail DC, what are we saying? Maybe DC 13. Fail a saving throw. DC saving throws. Screech. Becomes frightened. Is that a con saving throw? Isn't it? Is it wisdom or con? Oh, wisdom, isn't it? Wiz saving throw. Become frightened. Is that right? Definitely take the higher strength. Think so. Yeah. Definitely. All right. So thunder damage causes confusion. All right. So we said didn't give an advantage. And so if it's frightened, I think that's kind of a given, but just a reminder that if they're frightened, enemies, right, creatures, whatever we write, has advantage. We did it that way, but that's actually just the rule. Okay, cool. All right. Wisdom save. Yeah, that's what I thought. I started doing con. I'm like, that didn't sound right. All right. You could justify being a Constitution saving by making it real. That's true. It hurts your ears. That's true. No, I like the wisdom thing. It kind of keeps Maybe it's not the volume of it. It's the screech that's horrifying, because it does still have that, maybe a little laced with some of that magic still, the same kind of magic that lured people that just couldn't resist. There's something in that sound that's just, it gets you. You become frightened because you're like, what the heck was that? So I don't know if I like the really, really loud part. I think I like the idea of the wisdom. Like it's just horrifying, whatever that is. Or an intelligence saving throw. Yeah, these are good stuff. These are good ideas. I'm glad you guys come out. This is good. We're building something great here. All right, so I'm going to finish out the wisdom. I'm just going to put wisdom probably at, I guess, 12. Wow, that's crazy. The owlbear is wiser than the harpy. What's up with that? Seems kind of weird. Been around more, I guess. And the last thing is charisma. Now, I like what Overboard was saying earlier. So I'm thinking maybe being it's so ugly and rough looking, that charisma's not so great. It's looking pretty jacked up looking. I'm going to bring that charisma down. So the harpy had a charisma 13, but I don't think it's as charismatic anymore. And the owlbear had a 7, so I'm gonna drop it to 10. 10 charisma. Okay. 10 is just 0. All right. Yeah. Okay. All right. So we had silent like an owl, I think, is in there because we did that with the flying part. I don't know if we want to put that down in the abilities as well. So what we have left here at the end, just kind of our abilities here. Oh, we do need to get into dark vision. Oh, golly, we have dark vision, right? Or does it lose it? Because harpies don't have dark vision. Hey, I'm all for not having dark vision. Everything has dark vision, which is why when I heard Shadow Dark and they were like, nobody has dark vision, you got me. You have me at no dark vision. What do you think, chat? Keep dark vision or not? It's an owl. I kind of has to, doesn't it? Yeah. Yeah, that's probably, yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, true sight, even better. Oh my gosh. That's brutal. All right. So, true sight. Well, it says, no, it says, Albert just said dark vision. Keen wisdom, checks on my sight or smell. It has a keen sight and smell. Not so much about true. Isn't true sight you can see through magical darkness as well? Or is that when I'm thinking devil's sight from no, real life does have lots of part owl. Yeah, I think it has to have dark vision. Is it true sight like devil's sight where you can see through magical darkness as well? Do we want to upgrade the dark vision? Oh, that's great. Man, that's great. So it's a package deal. So now we're going to actually have a true sight dragon sight. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. Dark vision. Okay. Wow, Fred, you just want to have it just even more upgraded. All right, so yeah, I like what I like that idea. I like the companion. That's his companion, his gnome wizard companion. What's his story? Yeah, dark gnome wizard companion. We'll have to get into that. We'll have to get into. All right, I'm going to put that down in here. Yeah. It's a magical kind of thing. All right, so I'm going to placeholder here. Evil dark gnome wizard companion. All right. We'll get into that. Is it his companion, the guy to help strap on the armor, the breastplate, take it off, or is it the creator? But he doesn't want him to know. I know that's a good one. Oh, sorry. Streamlabs cut you a little bit. Sorry. I mean, I've had that turned on. I don't know how long the thing was on that, but I guess it has to be a little smaller. Sorry. All right. So I might be able, I don't think I can turn it off in the middle of the stream like that, but all right. So, what do we got? Luring song. Languages. I don't know if that matters. Well, it's funny that only harpies speak common, and of course, owlbears don't. So I'm guessing it's going to at least speak common. Okay, Fred, sounds good. All right, so what do we think? Split the difference on the vision. Oh, so like in between. What would we call that? Dark vision, true sight put together. Long range dark vision, short range. Well, I kind of like the idea of adding some magic to it. What language? Man, Overboard, he's ahead of us. Well, he's an evil wizard, so he probably speaks more than common. He's going to speak probably, well, if he's evil, he probably speaks infernal even. Right? And probably Gnomish, that makes sense. Possibly Polish. There you go. Very good. Very good. Yeah, so long range dark vision. So long range, isn't dark vision 60 feet? So this would be like 120. Kind of like, is it warlocks get one of the feats that they can get? It doubles their length of their dark vision. And true sight, maybe true sight is like 30 feet. What do you think? Long on the dark, short on the true sight. I don't know. What do you think there? All right. So we have anything else interesting we want to throw in there? So the luring song, we kind of changed that all together. I don't know that we need to. That's a big long thing about them jumping and then all this kind of stuff. If they make the save against the Sonic Screech on the luring song, when they did that, they were immune. On a successful save, immune. Is it going to be immune for 24 hours? This is what it said originally. Do we want to still have that? Stench to it, dirty and ragged. Yeah, so I'm all for making it descriptive. So let's do like, I'm going to take the silent out because we've already nailed that down, I think. But let's do some description. So it's a cross between, this creature has the torso, large muscular torso, has of a human covered with ratty, dirty, ragged feathers. And carries a sickening stench, probably from eating people. We want to keep that. Imagine the harpies. So the harpies have been known to, they're like vicious. You know, they have a history of ripping sailors to pieces and all that. So I don't know if we want to keep that vibe to it. 30 true sight. 120. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's what I got. All right. Good. Yeah. So it has a stench to it. I don't know if we want to carry that stench further, like it has any kind of sickening effects on people. I don't know. All right. So immune for 24 hours. All right. Successful saves. Immune for 24. We think that keep the. Yeah, it can't really be that bad. I don't know. Is a penalty to stench? See, that'd be a con DC. If you get within, I mean, this is a high level creature, so they can maybe make that con save. Do we make it that their stench is so overpowering that it, if with like within 30 feet, they become sickened, like they're like busy puking, they can't really fight for like what is it? Is it a minute? That'd be 10 rounds. What do you think? Is that too much? Too little? Dire drop bear. Yeah. This is pretty rough. Let's throw it in there. You can always take it out. All right. So any creature within 30 feet has to make a DC 13, 14, I don't know, con save or be sickened for 1 minute. Wow. This thing's nasty. And more ways than one. Yeah, good stuff. All right, I like it. I like it. So, let's see. Anything else we want to? Is anything from the owlbear side? They have keen sight and smell, but if they're smelling awful, does that kind of tamp that down a little bit? I'm wondering. I don't know. I don't know if I want to do that. I do want to keep that they have a beak, I think, and that way they get a beak attack. Claw attacks. Do we want to? I would say we keep the claws, keep the beak, and they also can, because they have hands, can wield a club like the harpy does. So you still only get 2 attacks, but it's a choice. Do you want to use claw, beak, or weapon? Does that sound like a winner? Actions. So it can take a multi-attack. Oops. The fur bear. Fear bear makes 2 attacks. One with claws. And one with claws, beak, or club. Okay. So claws, I like that. Claws probably melee. I'm just kind of copying this part. Weapon attack. Harpert. Harbear. Fred's still working on the title. This is probably what they went through when they were trying to name some of those. They're, what are we going to call this? I've never understood bugbear. Can someone enlighten me how? So when I first heard of a bugbear, I'm picturing a cross between a bear and a bug. And yet, bugbear, nothing like that. I'm just kind of, I'm thinking maybe someone was drunk when they named it. I don't know. 5 feet. Were you there when you named it, Fred? Let's see. So if it hits, does 6 damage. The gnome calls him. Yeah. So this is fur bears in general, but one of the famous fur bears. Maybe famous fur bear NPC or creature is known as Oowerger. We're eating small creatures plus kobolds and halflings and a. Well, wait, what? Wait, what? Why are you bringing AJ into this? AJ does have a penchant for gnomes, right? All right, Oowerger. All right, I like this. That's one of our famous gnomes. He's well known, like well known dragons. There was a famous fur bear named Oowerger. Okay, evil dark gnome wizard companion. We'll get into that. 6 damage, which is, what was that? I'll flesh that out later. And beak and club damage. We'll get into that later. All right. So he prefers eating prefers eating things smaller than himself. That's probably a given there. All right. I think we got something pretty good here. I don't know that I really want to. Oh, you're carrying NPC. No, it's fine. I think this could be one you run across. Oowerger, and I like that idea. I think we did something before. We were creating NPCs in one other video, and unusual ways. I think part of those unusual monsters we've done in the past is you'd run into a lot of them just would be in passing, and they're not even a thing you fight necessarily. They're like a NPC you encounter. So that's good. Fly off with them. Oh, there we go. That would be part of that harpy thing. That the harpy would want to bring them back somewhere. It's like if we had AJ here, he'd probably tell you. I imagine that the history of harpies and all, they like to pull them off somewhere. So okay, I see what you're saying, Fred. So prefers smaller creatures. He wants to snatch them and take them off to its nest. And that's a whole nother thing. Then we can have lair actions when you fight them in the nest. Oh my gosh, this is getting intense. So yeah, good stuff. Do we want to flesh out our little wizard gnome here, companion? So is he the huge nest? Oh, absolutely. It would be pretty big for the size of an owlbear for sure. All right, so do we want to flesh out our little gnome wizard? So I like this idea. Overboard. Do we have a name for your evil dark gnome wizard companion? Maybe he's the creator, but the fur bear doesn't know that. The fur bear, Oowerger, doesn't know. Fur bear eats new was in 5 minutes. Yeah, this is a very short story. So there's a story of the evil word that was eaten within 5 minutes of meeting him. Yeah. So he's a creator. I like the idea of him secretly being the creator, but the fur bear is not too bright, so he doesn't realize that. He's really he looks up to him as his caretaker and takes care of him, kind of like of Mice and Men. The fur bear is Lenny, and yeah, kidnapping people. Yes. Okay. Cast a sleep spell and his friend flies him home. All right. Okay. Gnome is known for kidnapping people. So they're working together. All right. So this is he has they work together to kidnap people. And the wizard needs a name. Wizard casts a sleep spell. So they work together. He casts a sleep spell, and the fur bear hauls them off, flies them to their home. So that's a little scam they got going. And Lord knows what the wizard's doing, the evil wizard's doing. So he's upgraded from, he's no longer, or he's just added to the mix. He's not just doing Ned, not very nice. All right, that's a placeholder for sure, at least. I like it. Yes, that's the. So these are NPC versions of our creature and his companion, and they got this scam going. That's cool. I like it. Good stuff. All right. Thorin Vassenbach. Wow. What? Overboard. Where are these names? All right. So we're going to. Oh, there you go. There we go. That's a keeper, maybe. Thorin Vassenbach. See, this is good times right here. I kind of like that one because it sounds like a. Not that Ned, not very nice. It's not a good. Maybe there's a couple choices of names. Flies him up. That's not how you spell flies. Fly. No, it's IES. Why is it not correcting that? All right. So yeah, fur bear communication. I like this. So how horrifying is that? Yeah, it does these squeaks, but then it does this guttural growl, like a bearish thing. So it's almost like sounds like Bobcat Goldthwait. It's like it's conflicted in how it communicates. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. So we've got, see what we've got here. We've got a owlbear that is an owlbear harpy combo called a furebear, combination of fury and owlbear. We kind of dropped the owl part in there, but it's in there still. He's still part of those things. So the horrifying thing is this thing can fly. We combined some things. I like how we get a little bit give and take here with added some things, took away some things. I like this. I like the vibe of this thing being all ratty looking and nappy and smelling horrendous, probably from all the people that it's consumed. It doesn't bathe very well. I mean, how do you bathe? How do you bathe with feathers anyway? I mean, if you've ever smelled, birds, sometimes they can smell kind of rough. They don't. I mean, how are you going to preen? It's not shaped to preen. It has a beak and all, but it's just so misshapen. It probably couldn't clean those feathers very well. So just goes with it. Yeah, I think that's a great vibe all around it. It would have to be probably chaotic evil, keeping that the harpy part of it. So the armor class is higher, which carries a breastplate that makes it silent. That's good. But because its hands don't work super great, or maybe the big, oh gosh, yeah. So well, and that's it's driven by mating. Fred's got a point there. It could be why they're hauling off people, looking for a good time. But so he's like, it's like, yeah, it's not how you're supposed to do it. But yeah, they're doing it. I'll not go down that road too far. So needs help taking off its armor, as I was saying, because of the size of it. Probably it does have hands and all, but it has claws on those hands. Just not really conducive to putting on, taking off breastplate. So it kind of needs some help probably with that. So usually probably found with a companion of some kind. Maybe it's someone that's scared of him, or maybe in the case of the one we have, is this thing is working for him. So that could be a thing. We added some speed. So flight was made a little bit beefier because it's bigger, but also silent. And I like this disadvantage on hearing perception check. It also can climb 20 feet. It kind of likes to climb up in a tree and then swoop down using its silent ability. That's a good stuff. Would it have a nest for a lair? Yeah, we think it'd have a nest, a big giant nest. Their hideout is somewhere in the hollows. Oh, I like that. That's good stuff. Yeah. No, that's good. That I like that idea. And yeah, that's good. Or it could be on a mountain cliff. That's not a bad idea either. So one of those two, those are maybe, it depends. That it just likes to be somewhere in there, depending on how high it flies. Maybe because it's so big, I don't know if it's going to want to go too high up a mountain, but it could. Does it have live or egg birth? Ooh, that is an interesting conundrum. Yeah, does it have that? That's a good question. Does it have live or egg birth? Yeah, that's maybe that's one of the wonders that what people trying to study. There, people like Mordenkainen is trying to study whether they have live or egg birth. Fred just says he's just decided it's eggs. It's gonna imagine the size of those eggs, an owlbear size egg. That's a pretty big egg. I like it. I like it a lot. All right, so that's good stuff. The we said that it's got dark vision and some. It's also added true sight. Some of that magic blended with its ability, its natural ability as an owl, because it has that owl, so it definitely has dark vision. I like that we changed the luring song to a sonic screech. That's great. And thunder damage. I'll have to figure what thunder damage, how much damage that would be, but I'll add that in. Causes confusion and fear. If it fails a DC wisdom saving throw, it becomes frightened. That's good. Has an advantage against frightened creatures. I think that's just really pretty much how frightened reads. So I don't know if I need to have that in there, but I'll put that in there in case. If they make a successful saving throw, then they're immune to that sound. That doesn't affect them, that magic part of it. Speaks languages we thought may be common. That's just a carryover from the harpy there. And as for actions, it gets a multi-attack. So I think that's good. They're feeding villagers to the... Oh, wow. There you go. That's pretty dark. Yeah. Feeding villagers to the baby fur bear army, he's screaming. Yeah, that's yeah. There's a variety of different things that these humans can be used for. It may not just be experimentation. Fred thinks it might be for a good time. I don't know. I mean, it depends on his motivation. What's it weak to? The dark. What? Yeah, it's scared of the dark. There we go. Yeah, it has dark vision, but it's scared of the dark. Yeah. Yeah. What is its weakness? That's an interesting idea. Do we have any? We didn't really talk about anything it's weaknesses to it, or on the flip side, I don't know. We didn't really talk about resistances and all that stuff. Maybe a young sing a dissonant song. No effect on. Oh. That's a great idea. So they can be tracked. You could find their huge nest. Their nest can be tracked by listening for the dissonant, dissonant, is that right? Dissonant sound of the babies calling for their mother. Their mother, father. You'd say sexual. I don't know. Nice. Okay, I like that. Is there a gnome cult? Of course there is. You could, or you can smell it. Those with keen smell may catch the scent, the stench of the nest to a mile away. Nice. Well, that's some rank stuff right there. Good stuff. Gnome cult. Yeah, that's what that's why the wizard's involved there. And he's raising his own cult there. The smell of DC roll. Yeah, right. Yeah, is there a DC? Yeah, I don't even know. I mean, who can smell that far away? You would have to be. What kind of? What's the one? All those characters that are. Oh my gosh, I can't think of the name now. The one that's half leopard, half person, or maybe the elephant people, or any of those that are a cross between some kind of animal that has a keen sense of smell. Maybe they're keen. They might be able to. It'd have to be kind of a racial ability, maybe, because it's not like you could just study to learn how to smell better. Yeah. No, I like that. Smell DC. DM decides smell DC. Or hearing DC for that matter. Smell or hearing DC. It's kind of a perception check, but maybe with an advantage for those who can explain why they can hear. Oh, there you go. Tabaxi. Man, I could not think of it for the life. I'm running there. It's just not coming. Yeah, Tabaxi. Yeah, so they might have more of an advantage because of the animal side of them. Because animals like that, cats have a good keen sense of smell. Good stuff. And it communicates in squeaks and bird song. This is a very unique animal. So you're not going to find this in the monster manual. That's the idea here. I wanted to put something together. And I thought it'd be kind of fun to play around with these monsters. What I'll do is I'll type this up and I'll add some things in there, like the images and all that in there, and put it as a PDF. So if you just kind of keep checking it once in a while for the next couple of days, look in the description there, and I'll have a link that you can download these. Can the fur brothers have like reverse knee? Oh my gosh, that's that reminds me of the what is it? I should think of names. This is bad for me, especially in the evening. The creature that has the backwards hands. That's such a weird vibe. The one that can be, it's like a doppelganger thing. Sure can't remember the name of that one either. But I always thought that was an interesting little detail almost came to me, and now it's gone. But that you could determine Rakshasha. That's it. I got it. Rakshasha. Yeah. Make a. What's the STL of this bear? Rakasha. There you go. No, is it Rakasha or Rakshasha? It's just fun to say, whatever it may. But yeah, that's how you can determine their doppelganger looked like you or me or anybody, but one small little detail. Oh, their hands are backwards. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Yeah, but that's reverse knees like a harpy. That would be pretty wild. It's all right. No worries. Overboard, are you asking for like a picture of this? Is that what you're saying? STL, I'm not hip to that. I don't know what that is. A still? Maybe a still picture of it? I don't know. Yeah. So I will try to, I'm going to throw this into, I'll throw this into AI and see if it comes back with something interesting. I'm not, my stance on AI is that if I were rich enough, I would hire a real artist to do that. Or if anyone wants to try it, you know. Oh, I got you. Yes. Oh, yes. STL file. No, I know. I know what you're talking about. Yep. 3D printing. That would be cool. Yeah. I'll try to get a picture up and put that on the PDF if I can. Try to make it all look like it was just snatched out of the monster manual. But so yeah, so that's it. Really, that's kind of what we wanted to do tonight. Sorry on the Facebook people, I none of those came through, and I was afraid that might happen. I don't see anything in chat from, and I'm sure there was. I know there's at least a couple I think that were on in there. I apologize. In theory, it sounds really great that you can have both groups in here, and you can see them, and it's all one big happy family. But that didn't happen. Also, it's supposed to show up in chat like right on the screen that everyone's talking, and that just popped in every once in a while. So that doesn't work great either. But anyway, I'll learn. This will get better with time. And thank you for those who joined. This was good stuff. I really enjoy it. This was I thought maybe some fun. The plan is next week, same time, I'll be in here and we'll maybe create something else together. I think that would be the way. And like to thank everybody who came, to everybody that joined. What I love about this is that with all the heads together, you get something way cooler than if I try to come up with it, or Fred or Overboard or Jay, any of that. If you try to do this on your own, you would never come up with something this wild and interesting. So thank you everybody who came. I really appreciate that. And with that, class dismissed. Bye, guys.